been trying to do it right. I've been living a lonely life. I've been sleeping here instead. I've been sleeping in my bed. I've been sleeping in my bed. So show me family, all the blood that I will bleed. I don't know where I belong. I don't know
Our
where
emotional responses one last time.
Okay.
Professor Tupperman is dead, and that makes us
Sad.
The fact that there are so many people here tonight doesn't make us cranky and claustrophobic. It makes us
Glad.
Giving Mrs. Davis the box set of Roots was
Bad.
I don't think you're right for him. Think of what it might have been. Took a bus to Chinatown. I'd be standing on Canal and Bowery. She'd be standing next to me. I belong with you. You belong with me, my sweetheart.
Achieved status refers to a position one holds in the social system that one attains based on merit or effort. But what does that really mean? Meet Lionel. He is a 30-year-old African-American male from California. He is an only child who was raised on a farm. Though both of his parents were farmers, Lionel knew at an early age he wanted to be a doctor. Lionel worked hard to excel in high school and college and was eventually accepted into the medical school of his choice. Now, at the age of 30, Lionel works as a medical doctor at a hospital in Boston, Massachusetts. It was there that he met his wife, with whom he has one son. Lionel has several statuses, some that he has earned and others that he was born with. Lionel was born as an African-American male and the son of farmers. These are examples of ascribed statuses, which are positions one holds in a social system that a person is born into. Race, sex, birth order, and ethnicity are all examples of ascribed statuses. In contrast, our achieved statuses are positions that we have earned or chosen. Our achieved statuses are largely dictated by our abilities, skills, and life choices. Lionel's achieved statuses include being a doctor, husband, and father. In order to obtain an achieved status, certain requirements must be met. In order for Lionel to become a doctor, he had to first graduate from high school, college, med school, then find a job as a doctor. Once Lionel met these requirements, he achieved the status of a doctor. Unlike ascribed statuses, which are unchanging and rigid, we can change our achieved statuses if we put forth adequate effort to do so. While some achieved statuses are desirable by the person who holds them, such as how Lionel always wanted to be a doctor, other achieved statuses are seen as unfavorable. For example, let's say someone committed a string of robberies and as a result achieved the status of criminal. Even though the person earned this label due to their actions, they may not desire to be labeled as a criminal and find it hard to get a job. Some additional examples of achieved status include a person who graduates from law school and becomes a lawyer, a person who graduates college and becomes a school teacher, A person who trains hard and becomes an Olympic ice skater. A woman who decides to get married and become a stay-at-home mom. A person who steals artwork for a living and is labeled as an art thief. An achieved status is a position in a social group that one earns based on merit or one's choices. This is in contrast to an ascribed status, which one is given by virtue of birth. Examples of achieved status include becoming an athlete, lawyer, doctor, parent, spouse, criminal thief, or a university professor. There are certain requirements that a person must meet in order to obtain an achieved status.
Ascribed status refers to a position one holds in a social system that one attains involuntarily or by birth. But what does that really mean? Meet Philip. Philip is a 29-year-old male. He's the firstborn son of a king and queen and is therefore first in line for succession to the royal title. Due to their high place in society, Philip grew up surrounded by wealth and privilege. On his 24th birthday, Philip was eventually crowned as king. A year later, he married his wife, and by the time he reached his 29th birthday, they'd had 3 children. Let's look at Philip a little more closely. Philip was born into a wealthy family, he was born a prince, and he was born a male. Philip was also the firstborn child. These are examples of ascribed statuses. Philip did not choose to be a male any more than he chose to be a prince, nor did he earn the title of prince or firstborn based on his skill or merit. Instead, these were statuses given to him by virtue of his birth. Had Philip been born to other parents, his ascribed status would have been completely different. Since ascribed status is given to us when we are born and is often involuntary, they can be rigid and unchanging. For example, Philip cannot change his birth parents, nor can he change his parents' wealth or his family's high place in society. He also can't change the fact that he was born as a male. Ascribed status is often compared to achieved status, which is a position one holds in a society that is based on one's choices or merit. Our achieved status is heavily dependent upon our abilities, skills, and the choices we make in life. Philip's achieved statuses include being a husband and a father. Unlike the title of prince, which was given to Philip due to his birth, Philip had to earn his achieved status of husband by getting married. In the same way, Philip had to earn his achieved status of father by having children. On another note, if one of Philip's children got married and had a child of their own, this would make Philip a grandfather, which is an ascribed status since Philip had no control over the birth of the grandchild. Unlike ascribed status, achieved status is more flexible and can be changed with the right amount of effort and ability. Other examples of ascribed status include race and ethnicity, birth order, e.g. if you were the only child or if you have 2 older siblings, the country you were born in, becoming an uncle or grandfather for men or an aunt or grandmother for women, and your eye color. An ascribed status is a position in a social group that one is born into or have no control over. This is different from achieved status, which a person earns based on their choices or their efforts. Examples of ascribed status include gender, eye color, race, and ethnicity. Ascribed status can be hard to change and rigid.